Brrr. Ooh, we're coming in hot. Hello, sister.
Oh, hello, hello. Oh, hello, sister. Mm, I'm so looking forward to
Hello.
today.
So, y'all, we promised this series, if you will, around the wounded feminine. And we are just, we'll probably do a whole separate episode. We're still in integration of getting back from our teacher graduation retreat. We are Ishtara teachers. If you want to know more, reach out. We can share with you. But
Drop it in the
that
comments.
we're saving.
Ishtarabody.com.
Yes, we're saving that. We're saving that for after we're integrated. Because today is a really, 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 really important topic that Stacè and I are in constant, consistent calling our own selves forward in our comparison. And you can put a slash there, comparison and competition. And, I know for us, especially the foundation we laid in this friendship and this sisterhood before even meeting in person was okay. And I am committed to always letting you know, like, what's up. So there's nothing
Right.
hazy in between our friendship. The amount of times I've come to you and been like, I mean, it literally happened this week where I was like, ooh, I'm feeling a little jealous. I just want to let you know. And I'm so excited for you. But there is that because of, like, well, why wasn't I picked? Am I not seen? Am I not all of that cycle? So we're gonna bring this in because this is a really big piece, I think, inside the wounded space um that folks are walking.
Agreed. And I also want to presence this idea that we can't prevent the wounded feminine because the reality is when we bring these things forward, when they're in their infancy, when they're little seedlings, and we connect and we talk through it and we handle it, then it doesn't grow. It doesn't fester. Like I love, and you know this too, and I know you feel the same. I love clean energy between us or between me and whoever else, like clean, like let it be clean. Like you said, nothing hazy, right? So when we get to bring forward, like, I'm feeling a way about this, and I just want to presence it without blame, without shame, without guilt, without any of the stuff, that's when we get to create something from this that can be productive for the relationship. And this to me is what gets in the way of true sisterhood among all women because we don't bring this stuff forward. Or if we
Mm,
do,
mm, mm.
it's got a little corner on it, it's got a little edge on it, or it's a wounded feminine space of like, you did this to me, or it's not ownership
Victim.
of the feelings and the emotions. And we come to each other and we say, got to bring this in. Here's what's coming up for me. And it's from that place of devotion to the relationship. Like, I hold the relationship in the highest regard. And because of that, I want you to see me in the ugly, in the dirty, in the blech of it. And then, like, let's clean this. So, yeah, I just want a presence that the wounded feminine doesn't have to stay wounded. We can nip this in the bud.
Mm. I love a good nip in the bud.
Yeah. Nipping in the bud is
I
good.
I am so glad that you're bringing this in because it's not like we're just coming to one another in conversation and just sharing the like, oh gosh, I'm looking at this and like I'm not enough. And yes, we share that, but I also too want to preface the immense amount of celebration that we're also giving to one another. So it's like, yes, walking through the like literally sometimes, right? I know I might vomit. I have to share this with you. This is so uncomfortable saying all of these things. And then it's
Yeah.
followed with, and you go, like, I see you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
excited for you.
Yeah. That's such an important point. I'm glad you're bringing that up too, because it is, it's almost like a methodology to this, right? It's
Mm,
acknowledging the feelings that are coming up, recognizing that the feelings are valid, making the sovereign choice to bring those feelings forward with the person, and allowing space for that person to respond however they respond. And on the other side, in our relationship, on the other side, the other one of us is just holding the space for that sister to go through her thing, to be able to say, I feel frustrated. I feel unseen. I feel not enough. I feel not pretty enough, not smart enough, or why not me? Like whatever the stuff is, allowing that sister to say the things, and then having such what I call a pristine responsibility to take care of that sister's vulnerability. That's where we're building more trust, to be able to say, Jill, I so celebrate you and honoring your feelings. I'm so glad you brought this into our space. Yay, you go. This is why we created this space together. This is why we get to have this kind of relationship. Just affirming not only that it's okay to bring this forward, but that nothing changes between us. I'm here. I'm not
that's
going anywhere.
the safe spot because dependent
Yeah.
on, childhood, teenage wounding,
Right.
that's the big fear piece. Was just coming in. I'm like, I wonder if people would like us to do a role play. um, I learn best when watching, but which we could just run through because there's still so like here's an example. We're just gonna give an example. So it's like a touch, feel, actual thing. Stacey got invited to this event this week, and I was not invited. This is a prime example. I am so excited that she got to partake and participate and that her light and gifts are seen. I guess I can talk to you. We've already boxered, y'all.
We've handled this.
We've handled this. Um, so I'm holding the celebration. This is how I'll typically start to share it. And maybe Stacey by now is like, okay, something's coming. But I'm like, so excited for you. And I need to share something that is like present. It's so small. Like it's like small. It's in the corner of my heart. And I'm feeling a twinge of like jealousy. And you get to be doing this and I don't. And like, am I not seen? Am I like not as good as you to be able to be seen and to be able to do this? And then my mind will keep rolling like, oh, then ego comes in a little bit. And I'm like, nah, she just knows that like you don't have time. The organizer of the event, she knows how busy you are. So like you don't have time. And that's the place that gets us into trouble when we
Yes. Yes.
start egos populating and we are making up justifications which are trying to overlap our feelings and our emotions. And that is where most of the time, at least for me, I'll be like, well, I'm good. I'm not going to talk to this person about it. When
Yeah.
really,
Yeah. It's the
yeah,
story.
the
The
story,
storytelling of the ego
the
starts to
storytelling.
spin. And I love how you're calling forward, like what came to mind for you in that. I know for me, a lot of times in similar situations, what will come to mind after the acknowledgement that, like, hey, why not me? How come? Why wasn't I chosen? Am I not enough to be seen? Am I not good enough to be featured, showcased, seen, invited, included, whatever the things are? But what also then happens with ego is, I can't believe I'm actually going to say this out loud, but I know I'm not the only one because I've spoken to sisters. Is yes, too busy. They're taking care of like my calendar and protecting my boundaries. Great. Uh-huh. And oh, well, maybe I'm above that.
Well,
Maybe I'm
that's the
above
one.
that. Yeah. So maybe I'm above that. And that's for people who need the extra push or the extra help or the extra audience or the more. I'm like, because I have it down pat, I don't need like the remedial support. Like I go into labeling, like it's remedial support. Like, no, it's not. It's a freaking awesome event. That's what it is. It's not
I
remedial,
like to call that
right?
part pride. That's my prideful self.
So
Ooh,
pride.
she
So,
is.
so, so, so in the
She
pride, like,
is.
well,
Ooh, I'm
I'm
glad you
above that.
named
And
that.
then ego gets to tell me, like, don't worry about it because, like, we're better than that anyway. And the truth is,
We talk ourselves out of the feelings.
we talk ourselves out of the feelings instead of feeling the feeling, confronting the feeling with love and saying, I see you. I know. It doesn't feel good to not be chosen. I know. I get it. Like allowing yourself to be with the feeling. I know I just shared this in, I think, my Roar Beyond Quantum Mastermind or one of my clients. I don't remember now. I'm still integrating
I
back into
love this
3D life.
mastermind. Ooh,
Me too. Oh my God, these women are amazing. What was I going to share? I don't know now.
it'll come back.
That quickly when we're integrating, like the thoughts are not all the way there.
We're playing in another dimension.
Oh,
There she
true.
is.
I got it. Here she comes. The feelings. Do your own research. Don't take my word for it. But there is a lot of research that says that we really only in our nervous system feel the feeling for about 90 seconds. That's it. The rest of the time is the story. It's the story. It's the meaning making, the story, the interpretation, which creates more feelings and all of these other things. And that's where the mind wants to protect us and go, don't want to feel those things. And so we want to shut it down or we want to lash out or however we want to respond. But the reality is it's only 90 seconds. What if we gave ourselves 90 seconds to say, I'm feeling some shame. I'm feeling some guilt. I'm feeling some jealousy. I'm feeling some confusion. I'm feeling excluded and left out. I'm feeling lonely. I'm feeling abandoned. I'm feeling whatever I'm feeling and allowing ourselves to feel it without the story taking over and going, okay, I gave presence to the feeling. And then we follow that methodology. Now I'm going to go to my sister and say, here's what I'm feeling. And trusting that
Mm.
my sister can hold me in saying, I see you. I see you. Like in the story of Inanna, you can go and look at that too, everybody. But in the story of Inanna, her descending to the underworld and then having her support there and her saying, oh, my insides, my insides. She's crying out like this hurts. Gosh, this hurts so deeply and so badly. Ah, and the reflection is, I know your insides, your insides. I see you hurting. I see you hurting. I get you. I get you. This is what we get to give to each other when the stories start to take over. Because if we don't allow ourselves to feel the feeling in its truest form, the stories will take over. We know this to be true. How many times, drop it in the comments, how many times have you felt a feeling rise up and before you could even process the feeling, the story is already there? It's just there. Whether it's, oh, I'm feeling jealousy, like, well, who does she think she is? There's the story. There's the story. Or, oh, everybody got invited except me. Psh, screw them. I don't need it anyway. There's the story. There's the story. Or, what? I didn't get chosen? I'm devastated. I'm not enough. What? There's the story. There's the story. But just feeling the feeling can be really supportive. And then being able to process the feeling in a space of trust. Now, we're not saying go share all your stuff with just anybody, but cultivating a relationship of trust allows for that kind of space. And this is where I think wounded feminine can start to take root when we either A, don't allow ourselves to feel the true feeling and be with the feeling and recognize that the rest of it is story, or B, we do that, but then we keep it to ourselves. We don't go and share it in a trusted, safe space to be reflected and saying, that's valid. I see you. I hear you. Yeah. Yeah, to feeling the shame. Yeah, to feeling the confusion. Yeah, to feeling like not enough. uh-huh, I've been there too. I get you. And I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere. And I'm celebrating you for being in ownership of your feelings. Thank you for bringing us closer together. And now, can I reflect back to you what I see? I see you as enough.
Mm.
I see you as worthy. I see you as powerful, or whatever the stuff is. This is how we get to step out of the comparison and competition trap, because it can be a trap.
Well,
These are natural things, right? But we can get
it
trapped in them.
it actually factually is a trap. And as you were talking about that of like, and then the story, and then it's this spiral. Um, it is what I it's time delay one in the create.
Oh, I see tech challenges have presented themselves. I'm going to chat to Jill. Ah,
Hmm.
okay. Yeah.
Woo. Okay. So y'all know we literally had a shutdown. So this is a serious topic. Um, editing is gonna have some fun with this. Uh, where I was at was following up with what you were so just naming is we're getting stuck in the story. And it is such a real thing when Stacey's saying like this is a trap, because it is. It's trapping you from moving forward when you are staying in comparison, or if you're like getting that competitive bug, like, well, I'll show you. It is holding you back from creating the vision on your heart, this dream that you're longing to go after and make happen in reality. And it is one of the first what I call in the creation process, which this is a process that I've taken and I teach on from two different mentors, Robert Fritz and Mary Morrissey. And the very beginning of the creation process is thoughts. Our thoughts cause our feelings. Then there's a time delay. This is the first time delay. And this, I think, is probably one of the most crucial time delays when we are up to creating something, because what happens is we get stuck in the thoughts, feelings loop, which is exactly what
Mm-hmm.
Stacey is sharing around this story. So we have a thought, we're calling in, there's feelings that are attached to it. Then these feelings that last for about 90 seconds are then creating a whole other story. And then that story
Mm-hmm.
is creating another feeling. And then we're literally thoughts, feelings, thoughts, feelings, thoughts, feelings. There's no motion forward. There's no resolve. There's no meeting yourself, because it is, maybe you've experienced this. It might come with shame, panic, anxiety. There's lots of other physical pieces that your body will be like as you keep on this story spiral.
Yeah.
So I think it's really important and valid that we do name that. And now you have a couple different ways to be like, oh, and it's the going back and mending piece that's so crucial too, because that's clearing the energy. And there's one more thing that I want to bring in though around this before we loop and close out for today, because this is potent. I know we've talked about this again and again and again, especially if you find yourself stepping into entrepreneurship or anything where you are your own CEO, is this
Mm.
competition comparison. I just gave a client, it was our last circle self call.
Mm.
yesterday. Oh, my heart. And there's this piece around visibility. And I know you
Oh,
do a lot of work with women on this. This is a
yeah.
piece that I really have literally myself done work since 2018. And I was giving a invitation to a client to support her in stepping into visibility as she's launching her company. And it's really sticky and it's like, oh.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to even myself give myself the reminder as I'm giving this group of women the reminder, like, y'all, do you understand how many times I literally sat video recording myself in 2018 and 2019, would record it, would watch it back, would record it, would like, oh, I'm going to throw up. Oh, it's like
Oh.
all of these things coming forward to now get to the place of I'll go live. I'm pretty present and visible and have walked myself
Yeah.
through that. That was 2018. We forget that there's a path that everyone has walked to get them
Right.
to where they are, because it's so easy to just see the person in their bloom without
Right.
knowing their struggle too. There's always a shadow and a flip, no matter what level of visibility we're in, no matter what level
Mm.
of success, quote unquote, whatever you are calling success for yourself. So I just want to like, we can loop today's Wounded Feminine series, I think, with that piece of a reminder.
Yeah. The visibility piece, like it has its own legs. It could be its own thing. And particularly in today's day and age of social media and everything being visible, yeah, all you are seeing is the finished product of a person, of a process, of an offering or a thing. You don't know what it took to get there. And for some, they may say, oh, it just comes easy to me. I just do it. And even if that's true, we don't get to get stuck in that loop, thought, feeling of competition and comparison. We're here to do our unique work on this planet. And so, no matter what anybody else's looks like, seems like, it's not ours and it's not supposed to be ours. So, yeah, that's a whole other thing of visibility. And yeah, we could do a whole thing
Well,
on that. Like,
we
why do
we
all the
will do
women
a
look
whole one.
alike? They have the
It's
same eyebrows, same lipstick, same designer bag, same this. I'm like, it's not you. What is your great work you get to bring forward? What is your unique way of being, your blueprint? There is no competition with that. There is no comparison with that. There just isn't. But
yeah,
that's
this
a whole
is
other thing.
it's that will be, and this from my heart is the reminder that no matter how big or um visible or successful, how much money's being made, how many, any of that, the reminder to all of us is everyone has walked the path that they've needed to walk to get themselves through their own
Yeah.
unique fear portals. Because once you've walked through that fear, it gets a little easier the next time. It gets a little easier the next time. And not everyone's out there sharing about their fears. I honestly don't
Mm-mm.
talk about how I was sweating and recording myself because I've been just showing up on video for a very long time now. But people forget, or they don't even know, or it's not even a thought, because it's like, oh, well. And it's like, no, I was very sweaty and I feared being judged.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, the lighting's not good. And oh, whatever it might be. As women getting older, the wrinkles, do I put a filter on?
Mm-hmm.
This is aiding to the competition, and I refuse to be a part of it.
Amen and hallelujah. Yes. I think we can wrap this one.
Mm, that's a wrap. Okay. I love you. Thank you all for being here. We got more to this wounded feminine. So tune in next week because we're going to keep rolling with this topic. Let us know if there's a topic you would like us to dive deeper in with another series, because we always love hearing from you. But until next time.
I love you.